Hello everyone and welcome back to Tinderloss Gaming, and welcome to episode 5 of my The Drowned City campaign for Arkham Horror, the living card game. As ever, thank you very much for all the likes and comments and new subscribers that are joining the channel. This campaign has really sort of ignited some views on YouTube, so I'm really appreciative of that, and I hope you're enjoying this playthrough. Anyway, enough of me gabbling on. Let's get across to the table and find out what's going on. Right, here we are at the table. As ever, a fair amount going on. We're playing the Grand Vault scenario from the campaign. Before we go on to the scenario specifics, we've got a bit of housekeeping to sort out. At the end of the last scenario, we managed to get 5 XP with the one that I had left over. So that meant both Michael and Agatha have got 6 XP to spend, which they've both spent. So let's go through what have we spent it on. So with Agatha, she has spent, she's got rid of a normal deduction and upgraded that to the level 2 version, which gets us more clues, 2 additional clues if we succeed. That's a nice upgrade. And then we've got rid of the other Tooth of Etzil, and we've replaced it with another fingerprint kit. 4 cost XP, 5 cost, but really good and hopefully good for Agatha. So she's got those 2 new additions in her deck. We'll put those in there. We'll give these a good shuffle off screen and on screen as well in a second. And with Michael, he is ditching his 2 Lugers, which are the sort of 0 level version, and sticking with the theme. We've put 2 3 XP costs 0.45 Thompsons into play. Again, love that sort of with Michael. So 45 Thompson is, you've got 5 ammo, action, spend 1 ammo, fight, you get +2 to the fight and deal +1 damage. If you succeed by at least X, you may spend 1 ammo to deal this attack damage to another enemy at your location, where X is the enemy's fight value. So quite nice. I like the +1 damage, but also we can take out multiple enemies if we need to. Those are going to go into his underworld market. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Mainly guns, but there's a little bit of liquid courage in there. His viola case. We've put a fence in there this time. Really, just to try and get through, see if we can get that out. But we're going to shuffle those up. There is 10 cards. And we'll put those up there. Sorry about the glare. There's nothing I could do on that. I need to light the table. There's just some areas where it gets a bit glary, so apologies for that. Not a lot I can do about it. Right, on to the Grand Vault. So let's have a look at some setup. It says, gather all cards from the following encounter sets: the Grand Vault, Alien Machinery, Blood, the Inescapable, Rylea, and Starspawn. And we've got the indicators there for the icons. Put the Great Stair, moving platform, sealed chamber, and the core of the vault's locations into play as indicated in the location diagram on page 36, which is what we've done. Remove 1 copy of otherworldly mechanisms from the game at random. Otherworldly mechanisms are the revealed side of some of the vault chambers, which are these things here. So we've done that. Shuffle each remaining copy of vault together and put them into play according to the location placement diagram, which is what we've done here. Each investigator begins at the Great Stair. Check your campaign log. If the power was diverted, place 1 resource on the bottom left vault chamber. This location has been activated, which is what we've done here. Otherwise, you put 1 on each of them. Bottom left, bottom right, and top right, but we don't have to worry about that because we've diverted the power. Shuffle each enemy from the star spawn encounter set and remove 2 at random from the game, which is what we've done. Set the rest aside out of play, which is what we've done. Set the following cards aside out of play. Each copy of the double-sided Ancient Vault. Treachery, each copy of the Vault Attendant enemy, the Tidal Tablet Story asset, and the Inescapable encounter set. Done that. In player order, each player may choose 1 earned artifact, or 1 item from the expedition encounter, which is what I've done. Agatha is going to stick with the alien tablet. Didn't really get a lot of use in the last scenario, but I'm going to give it one more go out. It gives us plus when we're trying to do a skill test on glyphs or a Rylea card. What Michael has done he's kept Ruby Standish as an ally because she's really good, because when there's no ready enemies at our location, we can exhaust her to move to a connecting location. She's not permanent, unfortunately. Oh no, yeah, they begin play. Sorry, they begin play under my control. So Ruby's going to be there like that. Add flood tokens to the token pool, which is what I've done. Increase the flood level of the 3 vault chamber locations in the bottom row. So 1, 2, 3. They're all partially flooded. Shuffle the remaining encounter cards to build the encounter deck. And we're now ready to begin play. Had to do a little bit of jiggery pokery for this scenario. I usually have my act and agenda up the top there, but couldn't fit it all in. So we're now sort of down this side here, unfortunately. So let's have a look and see what the act says. Act 1A. Careful navigation. The machinery that serves as the beating heart of Rylea is alien in its design, but not inscrutable. Thanks to all you've learned up to this point, you may be able to find your way through. After the investigators have translated any of the 3 following glyphs, reveal the sealed chamber location. Hint, each of those glyphs are found in this scenario. So they're not ones we've found previously, they're ones we're going to find in this scenario. Objective, when the round ends, if an investigator controls the tidal tablet story, advance. So we've got to find 5 glyphs, or 3 of the following 5. We need to remember that, 3 of the following 5, and then we can advance. The agenda, bowels of the city. The oppressive darkness is filled with the sound of crushing, gnashing machinery. Forced. When your turn begins, if your location is fully flooded, you struggle for air. When your turn ends, if you did not enter a partially flooded or an unflooded location during your turn, or decrease your location's flood level, take 5 direct damage. And this has got 3 doom on it. I hate ones that have got sort of, low doom threshold. And then we've got, we're playing on standard. So the skull is X. X is half the number of activated locations. So at the moment it's 1, rounded down. It's going to be 1. The cultist is -3. If you fail, you must either deactivate your location or take 1 damage or horror. The tablet is -2, -3 if your location is partially flooded, -4 if it's fully flooded. And then the elder thing is -4. If you fail, search the encounter discard pile for a copy of the still behind you treachery and add it to the victory display. So there we go. We're all set up, ready to go. I'm going to do a quick shuffle of everything off screen, and then we'll do a shuffle on screen, and then we'll crack on. Right, there we go. We're off to the races. Let's give everything a shuffle. I have shuffled them off camera, but we will do a contractually obliged shuffle on screen and the contractually obliged dropping of cards. Right, that's the encounter deck with the cat weasel cut. Put that there. Feeling a bit penned in today. Well, stuff's not where it usually is. Cat weasel cut. Done. Oh, 2 more decks to do because we've got to do Underworld Market as well. Blimey. Oh, I did meant to say as well, in the last scenario, we did manage to do Plumb the Depths. We didn't manage to do Good Money, unfortunately. So we need to try and... So we've done 2 of each of those now, as they've been ticked off the campaign log. I don't know what's going to happen, you know, if and when we get to that bit, but we'll see. Alrighty, we are ready to go. Let's draw 5 cards for Agatha. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Obviously looking for the ocular if we can. We've got a spectral shield, we've got a fingerprint kit, we've got a shortcut, and we've got a deep knowledge. Going to keep fingerprint kit and shortcut, draw 3 more cards. We're going to draw an Andy, we're going to draw a guidance, and we're going to draw a backpack. I suppose backpack will allow us to dig for the ocular. That's one good thing. Getting a fingerprint out early doors would be good. Okay, Agatha, Michael, it's not the start of his turn, so we don't do Underworld Market. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are some guns in here as well, I think. We've got a lucky cigarette case. We've got a Where's the Party? We've got a Remington. We've got to watch this space. I don't think we're going to need that. And we've got a swift reflexes. Don't quite need that at the minute, I don't think. So we're going to keep the lucky cigarette case. We'll get rid of all 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have got an accursed follower. He can go. Oh. So we've got a 45 automatic. We've got a Where's the Party? We've got a fence, and then we've got another weakness. What's this space? Wow. Wowzers. Cursed follower. What a weakness to draw. He was a nightmare the last game. But he is what he is. Okay. We'll flip over the Great Stair. It says the stone stairwell appears to be the main way to access much of the eastern side of the city. It is engulfed in darkness, but the walls and steps vibrate with the constant movement of immense machines hidden just beyond the walls. Let's flip it over. Okay, the Great Stair comes in with 4 clues on it. Cannot be flooded. Okay, so that's a safe spot to go to. Resign. You venture into action. Resign. You venture into the darkness, leaving the churning machinery behind. Oh, it's always delightful when we've got to resign in the opening element. Now, moving platform, which is connected to it. Well, it's not technically, but it says moving platform cannot be flooded. Moving platform is connected to each adjacent location. So it's connected to these 4, effectively. Well, we need to get some clues, methinks. So let's go with Agatha first of all. Who, unsurprisingly, is going to pay all of her 5 down to 0 to play the fingerprint kit. Comes in with 3 supplies on it. Three. Second action, we use the fingerprint kit to investigate. We will chuck a guidance in, got a wild symbol on it, to make us 5 versus 2, 7 versus 2, because we get +2 for the fingerprint kit. So 7 versus 2. Zero. We pass. We gain a clue. And because of fingerprint kit, we gain 2 additional clues. Last action is just to do a normal investigation, I think. I don't really want to chuck an Andy in, I want to keep him. So we're just going to go, we are just going to go 4 versus 2. 4 versus 2, cultist, -3. If you fail, you must either deactivate your location or take 1 damage or 1 horror. We will take 1 horror down to 7. Slightly frustrating. That's it for Agatha. Michael. Start of your turn, reveal the top 2 cards. We're going to get a viola case and we're going to get a fence. Oh. I am going to pay 1 to draw the fence, I think. And that goes to the bottom. Fence, I think, is just a bit better. Oh, no. Hang on, I've already got a fence in my hand. I'll take the viola case. Put fence on the bottom. What are you doing, MB? What are you doing? I think at this point I'm going to pay, first action, going to pay 4. So down to 0 to play the automatic. Comes in with 4 ammo. One, 2, 3, 4. Let's put these into place so we know what we're doing. Cool. That's my first action. Do we... Oh, I've got my coffee. We really would like Agatha and Michael to stay together. Do I do some work on good money? I think I do. I'm going to spend 2 action. No, I'm going to spend 2 actions to gain 2 resources. That's Michael done. Enemy phase, no enemies in play. We go to upkeep, we get our resources back. We get our actions, they can turn over. We draw a card. Michael is going to get a crack shot. Agatha is going to get a burning the midnight oil. Very nice. Love that card. We go to the doom. We go to the mythos phase. We put 1 doom onto the agenda, 1 of 3. Agatha draws a card. She gets something in the water. Search. Increase the flood level of the nearest eligible location. So it's either this one or this one. This one's already partially flooded, so I think we will partially flood that one there. And it's got surge as well, which is delightful. Agatha still. Oh, okay. Persistent construct. 2 fight, 2 health, 2 evade. Got Hunter, nearest investigator with an artifact asset. Force. When you defeat this enemy, spawn each other persistent construct in the victory display exhausted at your location. Put that down there. And then Michael is going to get crumbling masonry. Test agility X, where X is your printed shroud, which is 2. If you fail, take 2 damage. I'm agility 3. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a Where's the Party to take me to 4. I'm going to play Watch This for 5. And I'm going to spend 2 resources. So I'm down to 0. So I've spent 2 resources. So that now takes us to 5 versus 3. Five versus 3. I'm going to put a fence in to make it 6 versus 3. Six versus 3. Oh, -4. We fail. That was a punt. That was a punt. That's annoying. We take 2 damage. We'll put 1 onto Ruby. And take 1 down to 8. Good old chaos bag. All my hard work. Okay. Michael's going to go first. First action, he's going to engage the persistent construct. Second action, he's going to shoot with his 45 at it. So we're now 6 versus 2. We gain a resource because we've spent an ammo. I don't need to play a crack shot at this point, I don't think. 6 versus 2. Oh, that is -4. 6 versus 2. Luckily enough, we passed. Wow, the Chaos Bag does +1 damage, so it kills the persistent construct. I'll put that just out here because I need to remember that if we get any more out. Goes into victory 0. So that was his first action. Second action. We will exhaust. Third action, I'll gain a resource. Back to 2. And I will exhaust Ruby to move Michael to the moving platform. Moving platform is Shroud 2, comes in with 4 clues, 2 per investigator. It still can't be flooded. Still connected to each adjacent is still connected to each adjacent. As a reaction, investigators at moving platform may spend 1 clue per investigator, so 2. Swap moving platform with an adjacent vault location. Whoa. Okay. Blimey. That's interesting. That's Michael done. Agatha. Agatha. First action is to play Burning the Midnight Oil. I gain 2 resources and I'm going to investigate at 4 as normal. Four versus 2. 5 because of Burning the Midnight Oil. But I'm just going to go straight 5 versus 2. 5 versus 2, 0. We get it. Second action, pay 2 to play Backpack. There. Search the top 6 cards of your deck for any item or supply cards. We're looking for the ocular. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Items or supplies? No, 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 yes, no. Okay. We've got a backpack in our backpack. Third action, gain a resource. And then I'm going to play fast or shortcut fast. Choose an investigator at your location. They move that to their connecting location. We're going to move to there. Do I want to swap with an adjacent vault location? The core of the vault is not a vault location. I think I'm going to head in there first. I've got clues. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay, enemy phase, no enemies in play. We go back to upkeep. These two turn over. We get our actions back. Gain a resource. Michael up to 3. Agatha up to 2. Agatha's going to draw a card. She's going to get a mouse mask. Very nice. And Michael is going to get a Remington 1858. Okay, we go to the mythos phase. We put a doom, 2 of 3 onto the agenda. We draw a card for Agatha. She gets a persistent construct. Okay. And Michael is going to get ominous silence. Put ominous silence into play in your threat area. As an additional cost to play a card, you must either spend 1 resource or take 1 horror. Test agility 3. If your location is not flooded, the test automatically succeeds. Handy. That's an action. Okay, we can do that. That's fine. We move across to the investigators phase. Those are going to be a bit annoying. Agatha can't really deal with the persistent construct. She can try and evade it. I'm going to start off with Michael. First action is to do the agility test, which I automatically succeed because that is not flooded. So that is discarded. Second action is to engage the persistent construct. That's going to be frustrating. I'm just working this through because if I kill it, then this one's going to automatically engage me, and it's just going to keep coming back. I can't get rid of it. It's the only way really is to evade it and then move. But it has got Hunter. What are we going to do? I can't keep killing it because I'm just going to be engaged with it. Okay. When you defeat this enemy, spawn each other persistent construct in the victory display exhausted at your location. So if I shoot this one, the other one's going to come and exhaust it. So it's effectively going to be the same thing as me evading it. And I've got a much better chance at shooting it. I mean, I could evade it. Oh, one thing I didn't do is the other. Do I want to take either of those? Not at the moment. Not at the moment. So Michael's second action, third action in fact, because first action was to do the ominous silence, second action was to engage it, third action is to shoot it with his automatic. So I'm 6 versus 2. 6 versus 2. I'm not going to play crack shot. 6 versus 2, -3. We are successful. Does +1 damage, 2 shots. That one goes. There's 2 there, and then this one basically becomes. Okay, let's just create a bit of space here. Sorry, try and get these off a little bit. That's exhausted there. Now, I should have unexhausted Ruby when we turn. I will now exhaust Ruby. No ready enemies to move to a connecting location. So Michael is going to move to the core of the vault. Wow. Core of the vault cannot be flooded. Forced. If the inescapable is defeated at its location, search all in and out of play areas for a copy of Still Behind You and remove them from the game. In your campaign log, record the creature was defeated. 2 actions. Spend 3 clues per investigator, so 6. You study the machine. Proceed to the scenario interlude, the vault core. Wow. Michael's exhausted, but it comes in with 6 clues on it. It's the most I think I've ever seen. Do we want to do that? I think we probably do. Sounds like we do. Agatha's got 4 clues on her already. Right, Agatha. First action is to play the mouse mask. Comes in with 2 offerings on it. Second action, investigate using the fingerprint kit. So we're now 6 versus 2. Six versus 2. Oh, Jesus. Oh. Oh my God. Oh, geez, Louise. Two swigs of coffee needed. Oh. Third action, to move to the core of the vault. Just done me over. Done me like a kipper. Chaos bags just had me over. Oh, I need another drink of coffee. It's still warm. Okay. We move to the enemy phase. No ready enemies in play. So we move to the upkeep phase. We get our actions back. We get our actions back. We gain a resource. Michael up to 4. Agatha up to 3. Agatha draws a card. She gets, here we go. This is proper Arkham Horror. Agatha draws the auto fail and then immediately draws her weakness. Glimpse the void. Put Glimpse the Void into play in your threat area. The first time you reveal 1 or more chaos tokens during a skill test, you must reveal 1 additional token and resolve its effects. Action, shuffle it back into my deck. Michael draws a card. He gets another automatic. Now Michael's playing the game. Agatha is like blah, 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 blah. Oh jeez. Right. Okay. We move to the agenda or the mythos phase. We put the third one onto agenda 1A. We flip it over. As you begin to make sense of the ever-shifting complex of maze-like corridors and chambers, a crack appears in one wall. The crack grows wider as 2 massive clawed hands pushes a hidden door open. A familiar, imposing figure emerges from the darkness, glowering at you. Your tireless pursuer is here yet again. Spawn the set-aside inescapable enemy at the lead investigator's location. Okay. So, the inescapable. Oh, we should have readied. Should have readied the persistent construct, and we should have readied Ruby. Spawn it at the lead. Spawn it at the lead investigator. Michael's the lead investigator, so in this case, we was going to spawn there. So it's immediately going to engage. Immediately going to engage with him. Yeah, because it's a ready monster. So he engages Michael. Choose an investigator at that location to test agility 4. If they succeed, disengage the inescapable from each investigator and exhaust it. Shuffle each copy of the set aside still behind you and run a random star spawn into the encounter deck. Okay, we'll take this one step at a time. So these are the 2 star spawns. You can see those there. We will, I didn't really look at them. We'll choose that one. We'll flip those over. And the encounter discard pile. Okay. Try and give these a good shuffle. Obligatory cat weasel cut. Now we need to test agility. Agility. So I'm going to choose Michael to make that test. He's agility 3. They're both 3, but Michael's got a few more cards that he can chuck in. I will chuck in the Remington to make it 4 versus 4. 4 versus 4. I'm going to put in the automatic to make it 6 versus 4, and I'm going to put in the Viola case to make it 7 versus 4. Going all in on it. 7 versus 4. Come on. 7 versus 4. -3. 7 versus 4 -3. We passed just. So the inescapable is exhausted at our location. We can defeat it here, though. We can try and get rid of the blinking thing. Okay. We now go on to agenda 2A. Agenda 2A says Devil in the Machine. This thing won't stop until you find a way to put it down for good. The inescapable gets +2 health. Joking. That's 8 health now. When the inescapable moves via its hunter keyword, each location is considered to be connected to each adjacent location. Forced. When your turn begins, if your location is fully flooded, okay, same thing, you take 5 direct damage. 5 doom. 5 doom. Then we draw our encounter cards. Agatha is going to draw. Oh my jeez. Persistent construct. This game is going to pop. And Michael is going to draw Infernal Machinery. Put infernal machinery into play in your threat area. You cannot trigger his abilities on glyph or artifact cards. Well, Ruby's not one of those, so we're good. Oh, we cleared what? We cleared that off of that. I need to remember for Agatha. Test intellect or agility 4. If you succeed, discard infernal machinery. I'm not too fussed about that because he has got nothing that's got glyphs or artifacts, so I can quite happily live with that. Okay. Investigator phase. Let's start off with Michael. He's going to draw his 2 Underworld market cards. He's got a Thompson and he's got a Chicago typewriter. I'm going to pay 1. Do I take the Thompson or the right typewriter? This will kill enemy's fight value 2. That's only +1 damage. This is +2 damage. But this is going to kill probably more monsters. You know, I can kill multiple. Oh. I'm going to take the typewriter for 1. Paid my 1. That goes back to the bottom. That comes into hand. Although I haven't got the resources to pay for it. But we will in a minute. Hmm. Gonna go with with Michael. So first action is to engage the persistent construct. Second action is to shoot it. Six versus 2. 6 versus 2. -2. We kill it. I get a resource for that. Or that. Basically, that comes out, and the other one, there is another one there, comes in exhausted in our location. Jeez, I haven't got the money to pay for Chicago typewriter. Third action is to shoot with the automatic, gaining a resource at the inescapable. So I'm 6 versus 4. Going to play a crack shot to make me 9 versus 4. Nine versus 4, -2. We do 2 damage to it. It's down to 6 health now because it's got +2. And that's it for Michael. Agatha, first action to get rid of Glimpse the Void, goes into her deck. Second action is to investigate with the fingerprint kit. 3 versus 6. I'm going to play an Andy to make it 8 versus 3. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 versus 3. Actually, no, I won't play an Andy. I'll use an offering off the mask. Still, same thing, but I keep Andy in hand. 8 versus 3. -2. We get 3 clues. 1, 2, 3. Now, we have to spend 2 actions if memory serves me correct. Yeah, it's 2 actions for that. It's 2 actions. Can't do that quite yet. Third and final action. Draw a card. Get an art student. Okay. We go on to the enemy phase. Persistent construct is going to move into the core of the vault and then engage or choose. Neither of them have got artifacts, so I'll choose Michael. That's it. We go to the upkeep phase. Get our actions back. Michael gains a resource up to 6. Agatha goes up to 4. Agatha draws a card. She's going to get deep knowledge. Mike is going to draw a card. He's going to get Joey the Rat. These are going to ready. So persistent construct is going to engage. Oof. It's going to have to be Agatha. And then the inescapable is going to ready and engage Michael. We go to the mythos phase. We put 1 on the agenda, 1 of 5. Agatha draws her encounter card. We're going to get deadly mechanisms. That is test intellect or will of 3. If you fail, you must decide choose 1 to choose 2 instead of it's act 2. No, it's still act 1. Deactivate the nearest vault. Draw 1 set aside asset. Vault attendant, move to an adjacent location. Flooded if able. Will 3 against her 4. We will put a deep knowledge in to make it 5 versus 3. 5 versus 3. That's a -4. We fail. So we've got to look for a discard pile. -4. If you fail, search encounter discard pile for a copy of the Still Behind You Treachery and add it to the victory display. Well, there's nothing in the discard pile at the moment. So that doesn't happen. We do fail. We get to move to an adjacent. This is not connected. So we will. No, we're not. We'll deactivate this chamber. Michael is going to draw something in the water. Increase the flood level of the nearest eligible location. We'll put this one up. It's partially flooded and it's got surge as well. Deadly torrent. If your location is unflooded, it gains surge. Right. Cyclopean architecture. Test intellect X where X is your printed location. So 3. Each point you fail, choose and discard 1 card from your hand. Oh my God, I do not want to fail this. I get to choose though. So it's, oh God, 3 versus 1. Ah. 3 versus 2. No, I'm just going to go with a straight. 3 versus 1. No, because I'm going to lose all 3 cards. If I make it 2 versus 3. I'll make it 2 versus 3. 2 versus 3. Oh my God, -4. And there's no still behind you in the discard pile, I don't think. No, there's not. So I lose by 3, which means I have to discard those cards. For each point you fail, choose and just, oh, there goes my Chicago tie wire. Wow, that was bad. That is a bad round. So bad. Oh, right. Okay. Michael is going to activate. So let's get the underworld. We've got the Thompson and we've got the automatic. We will pay 1 for the Thompson. We will pay 5 to bring out the Thompson. 2-handed. Comes in with 5 ammo on it. I take 3 health down to 5 for attacks of opportunity. 1, 2, 3. 1 from the escape, 2 from the inescapable, 1 from the persistent construct. Second action, I'm going to shoot the Thompson, gaining a resource. So I get +2 and deal +1 damage. So I'm at 7. And I'm going to shoot at the inescapable. 7 versus 4. 7 versus 4. +1. 8 versus 4. Which is very handy. Because it does one of 2 things. It does 2 damage to the inescapable, so 3 of 8. It also, if you succeed by at least X, so it's 2, which I did, I can deal that damage to another enemy at your location, where the X is the enemy's fight value. So I'm doing another 2 damage to the persistent construct. Which means this one comes out into the victory display, but the other one comes back in exhausted. Third action, to shoot inescapable. So I'm now 7 versus 4. 7 versus 4. -2. We do another 2 damage to it. So we're now at 6 of 8. 6 of 8. Michael is not looking good though. That is Michael done. Agatha's got to try and evade this thing. Two versus 3. Two versus 3. Got nothing to play against it. So I'm just going to go 2 versus 3 for a first action. Two versus 3. Oh. Fail. Second action. 2 versus 3. -4. There's still no, still behind you, I don't believe, in the discard pile. No. Third action. 2 versus 3. No other choice. 2 versus 3. -1. We finally, third action, we managed to get rid of it. We didn't seal any cards or anything because we've got nothing that can seal it. That's it. Not good. Not good. Okay. Enemy phase. Both exhausted. Inescapable is going to whack me for 2. 1, 2. Down to 3. Actually, sorry, Ruby. We'll take 1. Ruby's dead. So we're at 4 health. Done all right for us, Ruby. Done all right. We move on to the upkeep phase. We reset our actions. We ready any exhausted cards. So these 2 are going to ready. I think both of them are going to engage Michael. Yeah. Why not? It's only a game. It's only a game. We draw a card. Or we gain a resource. Michael's up to 2. Agatha's up to 5. Michael draws a card. He's going to get Opportunist. Agatha's going to get Magnifying Glass. We go to the Mythos phase. We're going to put 1 of 5, or sorry, 2 of 5 onto the agenda. Agatha's going to draw a card. She's going to get Infernal Machinery. Let's put these like this. She's got no glyph or artifact cards because her alien tablet is an item relic Rylea. And then Michael's going to get a deadly mechanisms. Test wheel 3. Okay. 3 versus 3. -3. We fail. So we've got a choice. Deactivate the nearest vault location. Move. Draw one of the set-aside vault attendants or move to an adjacent location, flooded if able. Yeah, why not? Let's do that. 1 to 3, 4 to 6. He moves down. We flip over the vault chamber. That goes. Michael's now down there. Comes in with 2 clues on it. We get an offering on mouse mask because we've revealed. I didn't reveal it. After you reveal a location, we'll put a note that he doesn't get it. So Chamber of Records has got action, activate this location. After the last clue is discovered from this location, you discover this glyph. In your campaign log, record arm under that. So, okay. We move on. We move on. Michael. Michael is going to shoot for his first action the inescapable. He gets a resource for shooting. So we are 7 versus 4. We will play an opportunist to make it 8 versus 4. Eight versus 4. -3. 8 versus 5. We pass. But we do not do it by X, but that does kill the inescapable. That does kill the inescapable. So if the inescapable is defeated at this location, search all in and out of play areas for each copy is still behind you and remove them from the game. In your campaign lore, record the creature was defeated. Excellent. Still behind you. That should be in here. 1, 2. Oh, well, they're all together. Oh, that was bad. Right. Oh my God. That's gone. We also record the creature was defeated. The creature was defeated. A heavy price. We didn't succeed by 3 or more, so opportunist goes. Second action. We're going to shoot the persistent construct. So we are 7 versus 2. Seven versus 2 minus 1. 6 versus 2. We will spend the extra ammo to deal that attack damage to another one at your location. So those two are defeated. But this one comes in exhausted. And that was Michael's. Oh no, it was his second action, wasn't it? That was his second action. Shot first, shot second. One action left. Well, he might as well spend his last action to activate this Chamber of Records. Got victory 1 on it. That's it for Michael. We need to get some health soak out if at all possible. So Agatha, she is going to spend her 2 actions and 6 clues. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to do this. As a group, you study the machine, proceed to scenario interlude the vault core. Bear with me. Right, scenario interlude the vault core. The core of the vault houses an elaborate control station. With the surrounding chambers activated, the control station hums with a sickly green energy. Ancient stylized glyphs portrayed a warped, shifting facsimile of the city. After some scrutiny, you surmise that the station powers each section of the city. Most notably, there's one familiar area that catches your attention, a pair of massive gates in the base of a towering spire. They're designed curiously like the obsidian gates where you made landfall. A small red node blinks underneath it, as if begging to press it. You must decide. Choose one. Push the button. In your campaign log, record the inner sanctum was unsealed. Continue playing. Leave it alone. Each investigator earns 1 bonus experience. Continue playing. Let's press the button. Let's press the button. Record the inner sanctum was unsealed. The inner sanctum was unsealed. What could go wrong? Pressing a big red button and then we continue playing. So Agatha used 2 actions to do that. Really, we want to come down to Chamber of Records, don't we? Because that's connected. They're connected. I don't need to worry about these, but let's just do that. Third action. Let's come down to get these. Third action. Done. Right. Enemy phase. No ready enemies. Michael's Thompsoned them. We go to the upkeep phase. We gain our actions back. We ready any exhausted cards. This one readies. Let's engage it with Michael. Yeah, you could. Well, I could punch it, I suppose. Punch it twice. That's all he's got. We gain a resource. Agatha's up to 6. Michael's up to 4. Michael draws a card. Spawn at the location furthest away. It's aloof. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. They're all 3 away, I think. So let's put it at the great. There. Take that thing. Agatha's going to draw a card. She gets higher education. Right. We go to the mythos phase. We put 3 of 5 onto the agenda. Agatha draws a card. She gets crumbling masonry, test agility, X, where X is your printed location. So that's 4. She's 3. She's got nothing that she can put in against it. Michael's got nothing in his hand. So it's going to be 4 versus 3. 4 versus 3 minus 2. We do fail. We take 2 damage. She has to take it. 1, 2. Down to 4. Michael is going to get ominous silence. It is a flooded area. That's annoying. As an additional cost to play a card, you must either spend 1 resource or take 1 horror. Right. Agatha, 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 what are you doing? Well, first things first. Hmm. Four versus 4. 5 versus 4. First action. She's going to spend 2 down to 4 to play the art student. When the art student enters play, discover a clue at your location. Second action, she's going to spend 1 down to 3 to replace the exhausted fingerprint kit with a magnifying glass. I didn't need to do that, but there's no point. I've got nothing that can replenish it. So she's +1. Third action is to investigate. So she is 5 versus 4. And she'll play both Andy and Northwick to give a +3. So she's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 versus 4. 8 versus 4. -2. We get the clue. And after we discover the last remaining clue at this location, she discovers this glyph, which is a bit of a squiggly line. Let's see where we can find that one. Where is that? Where is that on here? Oh, there it is. Arm. And we have discovered a clue. So we've got one of those. We'll put that there. We've discovered one. We've taken all the clues off, so plumb the depths gets -1, and that is Agatha done. Michael. Well, the only thing you can really do is punch. Oh, we've got our underworld. We will pay 1 resource to pick up the Derringer. We will then spend 3 to put the Derringer into play, replacing the Thompson. We will take an attack of opportunity from 1. That's going to kill him. Well, it's down to 3. Comes in with 3 ammo on it. That's no action to do that. Oh, 1 action to put it into play. Second action is to shoot. So we are 7 versus 2. I've got to take a horror for doing that because of ominous silence. I can't take the resource. So 7 versus 2. -3. 7 versus 2, -3. 4 versus 2. We do 1 damage to it. Because we didn't win by 2. Third action, shoot it again. 7 versus 2. 0. We do 2 damage to it, but that's enough to kill it. And delightfully, these other 2 come into play. Exhausted. This is tricky. Oh, the end of the enemy phase. Oh no, it's not the enemy phase yet. We'll do that in a second. So enemy phase, No enemies. They're exhausted. End of the enemy phase, we put a curse token into the bag. These are a nightmare. These are an absolute nightmare. We go to the upkeep phase. Get our actions back. We ready all exhausted cards. These two ready. Gonna have to engage Michael. Do they? Yeah, I think they do. Engage Michael. You ready? We gain a resource. Michael draws a card. He gets Where's the Party? Agatha draws a card. She gets Burning the Midnight Oil. We go to the Mythos phase. We put 4 of 5 on the agenda. Agatha's going to get, oh my god, Slither in the Darkness. 3 fight, 5 health, 4 to evade. Monster Stowaway Elite. Spawn nearest flooded location. That's her location. Force, when enemy phase begins, if there are no investigators at this enemy's location, this enemy attacks the investigator with the lowest fight at a connecting location. If no attack was made, Slither in Darkness moves to a flooded location nearest moving platform. Victory 1. And that engages with Agatha. Wow, this is tricky. This is tricky. Michael is going to get something in the water. Surge. Revelation. Increase the flood level of the nearest eligible location. Oh God, that is going to go to fully flooded. It surges and we get Crumbling Masonry. Test agility X, where X is the location. Oh God. Take 2 damage. So Michael's 3. Michael will chuck in a Where's the Party. Agatha will help with an Burn the Midnight Oil, so +2. So 5 versus 4. 5 versus 4, -3. We take 2 damage. Michael's down to 1. 1, 2. Oh God, this is bad. This is not looking good. So I've got to remember here, I'm now in a fully flooded location. And if I were in my turn there, I'm going to, so when your turn begins, if your location is fully flooded, you struggle for air. When your turn ends, if you did not either partially enter a partially flooded or an unflooded location during your turn, or decrease your location's flood level, take 5 direct damage. Got nothing at the moment that can decrease it, so I've got to move this turn. I'm now thinking I've just got to get back to the Great Stair to resign. I don't think I've got a lot of choice. Michael's on 1 health. Got 2 persistent constructs about to kick his ass. Agatha's got the Slitherer in Darkness hitting me for 2 and 1. 2 health and 1 sanity. She's got to try and evade it, but she's got nothing. Nothing that can evade it. Ominous Silence is still in play. This is not looking good. Okay, who do I start with? If I try and evade with Agatha, it's 4 versus 3. Mouse Mask is not going to help. Art Student's not going to help apart from soaking some damage. I could play the backpack, but then I'll be taking an attack of opportunity. Alien Tablet's not helping. Four versus 3. I'm looking at 3 tests. The only possible win is to get the +1. If I move with the Slitherer, I'm out of the chamber, but I will take a 2 and 1 hit. And if I don't then exhaust, if that's 1 action, then 2 more actions to try and evade it, needing the +1. Otherwise I'm dead. She's got 4 health, sanity's fine, but he's hitting me for 2 and 1. But then at least I'm not going to take the 5 direct damage at the end of my turn. I think that's the only play. I think that is the only play for Agatha. Almost certain death. If only we were playing on live stream, I'd have some chat to give me some advice on what to do. This has been a tricky one. Okay, I think I've made my mind up. First action for Agatha is to move out of the flooded chamber of records to go back to the core of the vault. She takes 2 and 1. She takes 1. The 1 goes on the art student. I'll take the 1 horror on the art student as well. So she just takes the 1 damage down to 3. That was her first action. Her second action is to try and evade the Slitherer in Darkness. with only one token in the chaos bag being what she needs, which is the +1. I honestly I do not believe that. I do not believe that. Of all the Arkham Horror games that I've played, I think that has to be the best pull from the Chaos Bag I've ever made. So the Slytherin Darkness, 4 versus 4, which means we evade it. Jeez. Her third action is to move to the moving platform. We're looking to resign now. We are looking to resign. There's no way I can do this. Michael, let's draw. Makes no difference. I'll pay 1 to draw the Derringer. Michael's dead. I think Michael's dead. So let's work this through, ladies and gents. So he's got 1 ammo left in his Derringer. He could shoot and kill one of them, which is fine. He could shoot and kill one of them. That's his first action. He's got 2 actions left. If he moves to get out of here, the flooded location, he's going to take an attack of opportunity from the remaining persistent construct, which is 1, which is enough to kill him. He could try punching it for his second 2 actions, because this will have been used on the first one. Hopefully beating it by 2. If we don't, we're even more trouble. But let's say he's shot that one for the first one. He's then got to spend 2 actions to punch it twice to kill it, which he could potentially do. But then he's left in the Chamber of Records, which is fully flooded, and he'll take 5 direct damage. If he moves out with both of them connected to him as his first action, he'll take 2 attacks of opportunity, killing him. Michael's dead. Michael is dead. Well, Michael's going to take some damage. Let's put it that way. So Michael's going to go out swinging. First action. He's going to shoot. He's going to shoot it, and he's going to play his Derringer. So 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 versus 2. 8 versus 2. He absolutely annihilates it, does 2 damage to it, kills it. This one goes out. This one comes in, exhausted, at the Chamber of Records. Second action. He's going to punch. He's going out swinging. He's going to punch it. That was the last That was the last bit on there. So the Derringer's now empty. He's using his fists. So 5 versus 2. I did get a resource for that. Spending the Derringer. 5 versus 2. +1. Does a damage to it. Third action. He's punching the persistent construct. A -2. +1. So -1 in total. 5 versus 2. 5 versus 3. 3 versus 2. 4 versus 2. So he punches it. That goes back in there. He punches it for a second damage, which takes this one out and puts this one in, exhausted. Michael, I've just got this image in my head. He's in the chamber. He's like bang, 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 bang. Uses his Derringer, takes one out. One's running up to him in the face. All this time, the water's going up and up and up. And at the end of his turn, he takes 5 direct damage and dies. Michael is dead. Michael is dead. Okay. We move on to the enemy phase. No ready enemies, but at the end of the phase, we put that lovely cursed token back in because of a cursed follower. We go on to the investigator phase. Agatha's going to get her actions back. She's going to gain a resource up to 5, and then she's going to draw a card. And there we go. She gets rid of all of her resources, down to 0. We go on to the mythos phase. We put 5 on there. So we're going to flip the devil in the machine. The incessant cacophony makes it difficult to hear anything, even the sound of your pursuer's footfalls. He could be lurking around any corner. It's only a matter of time before you're found. Search all in and out of play areas for each copy of Still Behind You treachery. Shuffle these cards. Shuffle these cards, the set aside star spawn enemy and the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. Move each unengaged persistent construct enemy in play to the moving platform. Exhausted and unengaged. Hang on a sec. So here it says, if the inescapable is defeated at this location, search all in and out of play areas for each copy of Still Behind You and remove them from the game. So I'm not putting those in, but I am going to shuffle the set aside star spawn thing into the encounter deck along with the discard pile. So that's going to go in here, that's going to go in here. Okay. Those move up to the moving platform. They're still exhausted and unengaged. If the inescapable is in play, it isn't. So we do that. And then we move across to agenda 3A, which is ever shifting walls. With great effort and small amount of luck, you may still be able to escape. The inescapable gets +2 health when it's dead. When the inescapable moves, well, don't need to worry about that. When your turn begins, flooded, etc., etc. We haven't even got past Act 1. We should have readied this one. It hasn't got Hunter. Oh, it says slither in darkness, cannot enter unflooded areas. So it would have stayed here. Sorry. Because the core of the vault can't be flooded, so it should have stayed there. My apologies. I'm just trying to work out how that interacts. If I move with it, would I have just auto-evaded it? I don't know. That's a question out there if anybody knows. When I was moving Agatha from here to here, taking the hit, that can't enter unflooded locations. So would it just automatically stay there and unengage with it, or can't I move? Could I have not moved? I mean, I did pass my evade, but that's an interesting question. Agatha's going to draw her card. She's going to get, oh, Jesus. She gets the Star Spawn. 3 fight, 5 health, 3 to evade. Hunter, relentless play, highest will. While Coral Star Spawn has damage on it, it gains alert and retaliate. When you reveal a Elder Thing token, when fighting or evading this, take 1 damage. So close, yet so far. Okay, Agatha's turn. She's moving for 1. Taking an attack of opportunity from the Coral Star Spawn down to 2. And then she's going to resign as an action, taking 1 more down to 1. And she resigns. That, I felt, didn't go particularly well. I got nowhere near revealing the axe. I've done 1. These persistent constructs, man. That's, I think some unlucky draws there. And it is what it is. That's the game. Good replay value though. I could play this scenario again. Could play this scenario again. I've not done a lot. I don't feel like I've done a lot. When I did do a lot, but I don't feel like I've done a lot, if that makes sense. Anyway, right. Let's see. Yeah. So it says, if no resolution was reached, brackets, each investigator resigned during Act 1 or was defeated. Yes, that's what I've done. You are rescued from the churning water, battered and bruised, but thankfully still alive. After returning to the towering precipice where you began, you are pleasantly surprised to find Ruby and Andy chatting over a meal of dry rations. Rather than cut the reunion short, you resolve to make camp. Together you pass the evening cracking jokes and sharing stories. Before parting ways, Ruby and Andy share their findings and compile a crude map. of the ancient city. Update your campaign log. Cross out the Grand Vault on the Rylea map. The Grand Vault. Crossed out. If the tidal tablet was under control of an investigator, no, it wasn't. If anybody has the good money task, have them resolve their respective story on this page. Okay, I'll come back to that. Each investigator gains experience equal to a victory X of each value card. One XP. 1 XP. So he was down to, he'd spent 4 down to 2. So he goes up to 3. Agatha's got 1. So Michael's got 3 to spend. Agatha's got 1. In your expedition, if your expedition headed west, proceed to the Court of Ancients, page 28. Well, we're not going to do that yet. And then we'll have a look at good money. So good money. Michael's done 2 progress. Let's read good money. You lie awake in the dark for several hours, mulling over your last conversation in Arkham. Cole